on Family Matters.
You were taking drugs, stealing.
Yeah, I drink too much and I can't stop.
What was that like, having your own baby girl taken away from you?
Awful. Awful. Broke my heart.
I feel like we almost need to make up for the years that we didn't have together. Because I felt really separated from you.
You have to get yourself clean so that you can be a parent first, so that you can have the friendship.
Cameron's behaviour is out of control. He's just not listening to anything I say.
And what happened when he was a year old?
I took an overdose and gave him up.
You can see that she's wanting to change things, but she don't know how.
You had a medical condition. You did the right thing. You asked for help. So now be the parent you need to be.
That's why I'm here.
Good afternoon and welcome to the show. I'd like you to meet my first guests, mother and daughter Becca and Heather. Becca contacted the show because she is desperate to rebuild her relationship with Heather now before it gets too late.
My name's Bex and I live here with my husband Darren and my children Heather and Trinity. At the moment, our house is really stressful. It's basically Heather being disruptive. There's an awful atmosphere a lot of the time because she won't do as she's told.
She's not in charge. What gives her the right to tell me what to do?
She needs constant attention all the time, and that's why I think she does half the things she does. Heather?
What?
Heather knows what to say, to push my buttons, to try and push me to lose it.
I don't really care at all.
She steals and lies.
We argue a lot. I usually fuel those arguments.
A lot of Heather's problem is me, because she didn't grow up with me.
My earliest memory from when I was growing up was actually being taken from my mum.
I feel so guilty about it, because as a mother I should have put her first and I didn't. I put drugs first.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Come here for a minute. But calm your nerves for a moment.
Sorry.
I can just feel you shaking. Can you take me back a little bit, because I need to understand your life and how Heather ended up in family care and that kind of stuff. Just take me back a little bit.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Thanks.
Take a sip of water.
Okay.
So you were taking drugs, stealing.
Yeah.
You fell pregnant with Heather
Yeah.
and had this lovely
Yeah.
girl here beside me.
Yeah.
And at 6 months, she got taken away. And I've got to assume that was because you couldn't cope.
No.
You were, addicted to the drugs.
Yeah, it was really difficult. And
What was that like? What was that like, having your own baby girl taken away from you?
awful. Awful. Broke my heart. Killed me. Terrible. Worst pain ever.
So you went into rehab?
Yeah. I left pretty much straight away, straight into rehab, detox and rehab.
You mentioned that you had a young memory as well.
Yeah.
How old was she then?
It must be coming up to about a year old. Yeah. And I just remember driving away from our old house.
Yes.
It was like, I wasn't sure what was going on, but I can definitely remember driving away.
Right. And so you went to live with your grandma, is that correct? You went to live with grandma. How did you then reconnect?
Well, I was walking home from the shops with my nan one day.
Yes.
And I
And
said,
how old were you there, my love?
about 13.
13.
And I said to her, you know, what would I have to do if I wanted to go live with Mum? And she thought it was a hypothetical question, and she told me everything. So the minute I got home, I rang social services myself. Yeah. And then I rang my mum after I put the phone down.
So was you in contact with your mum, even though you wasn't living with her?
Wherever they moved with her, I moved as well to be near her.
So was there daily contact or?
Every weekend,
Yeah,
I'd go see
during
her.
the week.
Okay, so how long were you doing that before you made that phone call?
About eight years.
8, maybe 9
Yeah,
years.
about 8 years.
Okay, so you ring up the social services and you say to them, I want to go and live back with my mum. I've been with my mum. I see her on the weekends. I want to live with her. Take me from there, Heather.
I said I was staying over for the weekend and I never went back home.
Yeah, she never went back.
What was that first day like?
Epic.
Epic.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was amazing. Still is.
So tell me what's going on now then. Because from an epic day, as we can see, we've got problems here.
I feel like she hasn't got any respect for me or our house or anything in it. And I feel more like a best friend than a mum.
So when you moved in, by then you'd had another daughter, is that correct?
Trinity.
Trinity. And how old is Trinity?
She's 8 now.
She's 8. Mm-hmm. You have a good relationship with your little sister?
I love her to pieces.
Me too. Okay, so you're all living together. Mm-hmm. When did you first notice that there was a problem?
I probably didn't notice until I got with Darren, my husband, and he was the one that pointed it out, really, and said, you know, she really shouldn't be talking to you like that.
And did you just think, well, my mum can't really do anything about it, so I'm just going to go and do what I want because I should be able to do what I want?
Pretty much.
So was you smug about it?
I'm not proud of it, but I just did it because I could. Yeah. And there was a lot of boundaries before I moved in, and
right.
The boundaries were a lot lower now that I was with my mum. So I just thought, you know, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, let's go to tape.
Trinity gets really upset when we argue.
And it's really tense at home because of Heather and myself. Trinity does get affected, so she tends to go into her bedroom and shuts the door.
I think sometimes she sees things she shouldn't be seeing.
Trinity sees the way Heather reacts with me and Darren, and Trinity sort of picks up on a few of Heather's little traits, you know, things Heather says.
What? No. I don't want her to grow up thinking some of the things I do is okay. She'll see them and copy them.
If things don't change with Heather's behaviour and the tension at home, I'm really fearful that Trinity's going to follow the same way Heather had.
Okay. So I've got to point to the obvious because it stuck out like a sore thumb. The cigarettes, the alcohol, the drink on the table, the young kids. So what's going on there?
I drink too much. And I can't stop. Sorry.
How much are you drinking?
2 bottles of wine on a night.
You need the drink?
I think I do. I know I don't, but I haven't had any help with alcohol. I've kept it a secret.
Today it's out.
I know. Good.
Still to come on Family Matters.
I feel like we almost need to make up for the years that we didn't have together. Because I felt really separated from you.
What about the whole exploitation of, you know, you've got an 8-year-old daughter and there's alcohol on the tables and cigarettes and, you know, what about what the little one's seeing?
It's totally wrong. That's why I'm here.
Has she seen you drunk?
I don't get drunk. It doesn't, because I've been drinking such a long time, it doesn't really affect me.
Do you drink in the morning, all day? Do you drink in the evening?
When I go to bed.
Sorry?
When I go to bed.
Before you go to bed?
Yeah, in the bedroom.
What do you need from your mum?
I feel like I constantly need attention from her. All the time.
Yeah. And she gets it as well.
What do you want from her, though? What do you need from her? I mean, you say you need her attention, but what is it you actually need from her that you feel that you just don't have?
Puppet.
Come and sit over here, love. Just come and sit over here. Come and sit over here for a minute.
It's all right. It's all right. You can just say it. It's fine.
It's just...
Let me get Nicola.
It just... I feel like sometimes we almost need to make up for the years that we didn't have together.
Yeah.
Because I felt really separated from you. And it's just...
God.
I'll stay here with you.
I feel the same, Mother.
Only seeing you at weekends, I never felt normal, and now that I'm back, I'm making things bad, and it's still not normal, and I just want to be normal more than anything.
We don't know how to have a mother-daughter relationship, and I don't know how to do that. I know she desperately needs it, but I'm not a very good mum, I don't think.
You say you want to make up for the time that you've lost.
Yeah.
What did I say about that?
I want to make her happy, and I wanted to know how much I love her. But she knows how much I love her.
What are some of those things that you feel that you've really, that you feel like you've missed out on, that you want to be able to do now?
Just like silly little things you do as a kid, like
Yeah.
go out for picnics and
Go riding, go swimming.
go and watch a stupid film together, sit and cry at stupid films. Just everything you'd see in a stereotypical movie of what kids do with their mums. Because I didn't get that with Nan, and I just want to almost live the childhood that I didn't really get with you.
Let's look at some more tape.
Darren's in control in this house. If he wasn't here, then Heather would be running this house, definitely.
Oh, you missed bits of like the floor.
He's the only one that's firm.
So the more mess you make, the longer it'll take you, so...
Nothing's safe.
I know how to pick locks.
It's like every time I turn her back, she'll have it.
In the past, I've taken money.
She seems to see us all, me and Bex, as a friend. Not as a parent, but she needs to know the boundaries. The lines are definitely blurred. It's having an effect on Bex in a way that it breaks her heart every time. When I think about the future, it feels really heavy and really like a lead weight there.
I don't want Darren to leave because I've created such a bad atmosphere. If Darren left, our family would fall apart.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Respect in the home, an order, an example. Tell me, or better still, tell your mum what it feels like living with her right now in the condition that she's in.
It can be really upsetting, the drinking, sometimes.
Right.
I know that you're doing a lot better than you were, and I'm really proud of you for that. And I'm really looking forward to the day that you completely stop, because, in the past I've had Trinity asking me things that she shouldn't about it. And I can't wait until the day that I come home and I see that you haven't bought any wine, because you've done so much and there's just a little bit more you need to do.
I know. I'll do my best.
I asked my team to ask you both if you could write a letter to one another. Did you do it?
Yeah.
You did? Do you have those letters? You do?
It's a bit crumpled.
I've wrote a couple, but I ripped them up, so it's just a note, really, that I did this morning.
Heather, can I have you read your letter to your mum, please?
Okay. To Mum, I'm not sure where to begin to write about my feelings. I want to start by apologising for the way I've behaved for the past 5 years. I spent 13 years not having to do anything. And after moving in, I felt like I had to grow up almost immediately. And with having to do that, it makes me feel like I didn't have what I perceive as a normal teenage life. All I wanted to do was go out with my friends, have parties and sleepovers, yet I never really had the time, money or accommodations to do that. People at school usually avoid me because they think I'm strange. And when it upsets me, because it does, I'll come home angry and blame you simply because there's no one else to blame. Half the stuff I do is usually unwarranted, as I usually lash out without thinking. And most of the time I'll have all this anger bubbling up inside me and I don't understand why. I just get really angry, and all of a sudden if I don't get it out, it'll just fester there and eventually I'll explode. That's all I managed to write.
It's a beautiful letter. It's a beautiful letter. Why is she not strange?
She's not strange, she's just Heather. She's my girl. And she's wonderful.
Can you read your letter, please?
It's not very long. You're my beautiful girl. I wish you could see in yourself what we can see. I'm so proud of you. I find it difficult to discipline you, as I don't feel like your mum, and I feel more like we are best friends. I want to be both of these things to you. You are very talented, but your dreams will not fall into your lap. You have to chase after them. I wish I could stop drinking. You deserve better from me. I do feel guilty about the past, and I don't know how to change that. I can't tell you how much I love you. I will always be here for you, no matter what.
The truth. You know how each other feel. Sometimes it's incredibly hard just to verbalise how we feel, to express how we feel, and that's why I asked you to write it down on paper, because sometimes that transition can be a lot easier for us, and it worked very well for the pair of you in being able to do so. You want time with your mum, with your family, where you can do the things that you feel you were robbed of being able to do, and you want to be able to do that. And your mum wants to feel that you respect her and have the opportunity to be your parent in the respects of being able to say the things that she truly does believe are for your own good. But she's scared of pushing you away because she lost you for so long to do that. And that's why she wants to be your friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
The reality is that you have to get yourself clean so that you can be a parent first, so that you can have the friendship. You're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
What commitment will you make to each other today that you will remind each other of and be accountable of? What commitment will you make today?
I want to be able to do things that you asked me to do for first time without in a minute or throwing an anger fit. I want to be able to do that. I'm not sure how, but I think it's getting myself into a routine and out of my old one more than anything.
And I do think you know how to. I think you've just made choices not to.
Yeah.
You know, in your anger, your frustration of coming home, of seeing mum dependent on the alcohol and you being angry, you know, that's your own feelings you're internalising and not feeling in control.
Yeah. I've never really felt in control of my anger. It's been very rare, but I have been physically angry on a few times. I've smashed things. I got so angry once that I stormed out of the house and I ended up getting in a fight with a random person because they looked at me funny.
And found an excuse to project your anger on there. Today, will you make a commitment to respect the house rules and accept some aftercare so that you can feel more confident and to feel, you know, part of that emotion and understand how to control and manage that anger under the process of what's happening here with your family?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Thank you. And will you accept aftercare?
Yeah, please.
For the help?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And make that commitment to one another?
Yeah.
I promise.
Promise.
Thank you. I wish you the best of luck. I really do. Thank you.
Still to come on Family Matters.
Cameron's behaviour is out of control. He's just not listening to anything I say.
What happened when he was a year old?
I took an overdose and give him up.
Welcome back. My next guests, Lynn and Nicola, are desperate for help with Nicola's 10-year-old son, Cameron. Lynn says Nicola struggles to discipline him and she's terrified that this may lead to Cameron being taken away.
My name's Nicola. I live here with my son Cameron, who's 10, and my daughter, who's 2. Cameron's behaviour is out of control. He's just not listening to anything I say.
Do not make a noise. Your sister's in bed.
If I tell him to get in bed, he just refuses to go. He sleeps on settee most nights because he just don't go to bed.
Because I want you to go to bed.
No day that goes by without an argument.
Cameron! Put her down, please.
I'm Lynn, I'm Nicola's mum. My main concern is that the baby, Rowena, is going to copy, so she's going to have 2 of these doing the same thing. It worries me because I can't control him, so I'll not be able to control them both.
Cameron!
Anything that Nicola says not to do, Cameron will do it.
Cameron, come on, don't let's...
I don't want to.
Right, well, I want you to.
Cameron's in control of the house. Definitely. I can't just blame Cameron because Nicola and Cameron, they're at battlefields all the time.
I don't know how to discipline him.
I want to grab hold of Nicola and I want to shake her and just say, come on, wake up. It's your own doing. Get this under control.
This is the last straw. I've tried everything else.
Welcome. Welcome. So tell me what it was like when you first had Cameron.
Hard.
Tell me what it was like for you.
I ended up suffering from depression.
Had postnatal depression?
Yeah,
Yeah.
things just kept getting worse and worse.
Talk to me about the symptoms of your postnatal depression, just so we can get more a picture of that.
I just used to like take him because my sister lived over at Road.
Yeah.
I used to just take him there and go get back in bed, just lay and cry all day.
Yeah.
Really, I just never wanted him around.
Didn't want to connect, didn't want him around you, didn't want to know.
No.
So that went on for how long?
I ended up giving up when he was 8 months old, about 8 months old, one.
Yeah. Okay. And then what happened when he was a year old?
I took an overdose and give him up.
So you actually took an overdose?
Yeah.
So that's an extremely low moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from this very low moment, you then took him in and...
Yeah, it were hard for him to start off with, but then he loved Nanan. You know, he got Nanan, but she were allus his mum. Nicola was allus Cameron's mum. I never wanted that to ever end. You know?
So you're looking after your daughter's child, but as a mother, what was going through your head at the time? Because your daughter's in a very low place.
She was very low because she went. I'm a working mum, so she went to her sister more about the depression than me.
Right.
You see, so I didn't see all of that, and she never let me know anything.
Yeah. You just hid that from your mum? You didn't want to open up to her and tell her that?
Yeah.
So I was just looking after Cameron at the time. Cameron was the first...
Yes.
My first line. I mean, I know that she was in a bad place, but Cameron was in a bad place at the time.
Yes.
So it's all I could do was take Cameron out of this place and put him in a good place for now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's...
And did you feel any connection at all? Nothing?
No.
Just nothing? No. Did that frustrate you? Did you want to, but you couldn't?
Yeah, I wanted to, yeah. Yeah.
You could see, it was like looking into her eyes and it was blank. There was nothing behind her eyes.
Yeah.
It was awful.
So then he went to...
His other nans.
Other nans.
Yeah.
And he was there for how long?
A couple of years, weren't it?
3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years. So where are we at right now? What's the situation right now?
He's with me full time.
Right, okay.
He's just spiralled out of control.
So is that when the problem started, as soon as he came back?
There were slight problems on weekends when I had him because obviously he used to misbehave, and because he wasn't with me, I used to let him get away with everything.
Right.
And I used to reward him for his bad behaviour.
Because you felt guilty that you hadn't been with him?
Yeah.
All right, so you just wanted to just love even though he was misbehaving, even though you knew it was wrong?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
And then obviously when he come back, he was just out of control. It got worse and worse and worse.
So you're close to your sister?
Yeah.
And have a good relationship with her?
We have his ups and downs, yeah, but good, yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a look at some tape.
I'm Jennifer, and I'm Nicola's sister and Cameron and Lowena's auntie. At the moment, in my sister's house, it's make or break because she can't control Cameron's behaviour.
Now, because I said.
I do think there's blame on both sides. Like, I'll tell Nicola if I think she's telling him off for something that she could have left alone.
Give it me, please.
No, because you always go mine.
And chose her battles properly. And I do tell Cameron when I think he's disrespecting his mum. It's just not very fair, is it? Do you think you should go to bed? You can see that she's wanting to change things, but she don't know how. But then it only lasts for like a day, and then she's back to square one again. I think it is just a vicious circle. It's just going round and round. He's shouting at her.
Watching the film on it.
Give me the phone then.
And she's shouting at him.
Now.
They both love each other, but they're just butting heads all the time. I think it is now or never.
Anthony, welcome.
Hi.
What is it your sister needs to hear from you that she has trouble listening to?
That it's not just Cameron, it's both of them that need to change. She needs to be a parent rather than, she's like his sister more than his mum.
Yeah, it's true.
In what ways? Tell her what she needs to do that she's not doing.
She needs to put punishments in place and stick to her punishments, not just keep, like, say, for instance, Cameron, if you carry on doing that, you're not having your Xbox. Cameron, if you carry on doing that, you're not having your Xbox. And she'll tell him 5 to 10 times, and he'll still carry on, and then he still gets to play on his Xbox. She never follows through with any other punishments, ever. And I have told her this, but she just, it goes straight over her head.
And it's not that, it's Lowenna as well. She's copying now.
No,
She's not listening to anything you say at the moment, is she?
No.
She won't listen to you. So you're going to have two on your hands.
That's why I'm here.
I think she needs to, as well, learn how to play with the kids rather than just constantly... I was saying this to her the other day, she never ever, like with my children, I'll go in the bedroom and build dens, roll around on the floor, dance to music, and she doesn't know how to do that.
I'm sure your sister will be teaching you how to dance. Let's go to tape.
Oh, no. She's going to go back into depression, William. You know, she's getting really downtrodden and she just doesn't know where to turn next.
Things could get really bad when he gets a bit older. Am I going to be able to control him? And I just really need help.
I want them to be a happy family. I want Cameron to respect his mum.
10 years down the line, I hope that they have fun together, just be a happy family and just get on and just everybody have smiles.
If I could think of a perfect ending, it'd be to have two perfect children, just for them both to behave.
See, it's not like there's not a lot of love there. It's not like you're not making, you know, connections emotionally with Cameron. You know, it's not like I'm not seeing you hug your little girl. You know, like you've come a long way from there. You've come a long way. But part of parenting and, you know, having fun with the kids and them enjoying the experiences with you is to be able to let your hair down and be really goofy with the kids and mess around and really jump into their world, because it allows you to be able to connect with them on their level with respects to their creativity. And it just pushes them with their own imagination. What do you struggle with the most?
Discipline. Can't stick to it.
Why?
Because if I tell him something, he'll just annoy me, so I just end up giving in to him.
So explain that in more detail. I'm looking at the tape here, and I can see you, you know, wanting to stand firm with him. But he uses his arms and his legs as a deterrent to push you away. Look, and then obviously on the floor, you know, kids use their body weight. So that ultimately there's this kind of altercation that you're actually having to drag him up and, you know, take that energy. You know, they're all stalling tactics. You know, the legs, the arms flaying around like, you know, like a 3-year-old. You know, putting their body weight on the floor, having to drag him up to the stairs, so that eventually you go, oh, I can't do this. Too much energy, it's too much effort. You know what, get on with it. I'm going back downstairs again. You know, that's all part of the power play that he's got with you right now.
She does say that to him as well. When she'll be like, oh, just do what you want. And then lets him do what he wants.
And then, of course, when you say do what you want, this is the message that he gets, that you don't care enough about him to give a damn. You don't care enough about him. It can't be that important. Obviously, it's not that important, because if it was, why don't you stand with conviction? Why is it that you haven't followed through?
Yeah.
And all he learns to do is to basically push that boundary line. So now he doesn't even want to listen to you when it's about something that potentially could have him in danger.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to listen to you. He doesn't take you seriously, because everything you say is hot air.
Still to come on Family Matters.
You had a medical condition. You did the right thing. You asked for help. So now be the parent you need to be. So let's get to the bottom of it. There's a reason why you don't discipline him. Because good parenting and positive parenting is about understanding that you do have to discipline your children. You do. You do. That's part of parenting. great parent is understanding that you do have to implement discipline.
Yeah.
Whatever shape or form that is, you know, you do have to do that as part of positive parenting. So let's get to the bottom. Why isn't it done?
I think it's
because you feel guilty for what started had in life, so you overcompensate by letting him off with too many things, buying him too many things.
Do you? Do you think that's true? Or, I mean, I was just saying, yeah.
No.
I mean, really deep down, you know, really deep down, you know, I think if we can be really honest with ourselves, it helps us identify why we do what we do, so that then we can move forward and make that change.
It is true. It is.
It is? So you feel guilty that you didn't connect with him straight away? You feel guilty that he's been moving around from place to place?
Yeah, I do. When people just keep coming in his life and leaving him, and so it's like I'm both parents.
What is it that you feel guilty about?
Leaving him when he was little. I should have been there from the start.
But how could you have been? How could you have been? You were suffering from a medical condition. You had postnatal depression. You weren't connecting with your child because you had a medical condition. You couldn't cope, you had depression. You were in a very low place, and you had, you know, a lot of troubles, a lot of, you know, mental concerns that you needed to overcome.
Yeah.
And you asked for help. You asked for help, which was a wonderful thing to do. You asked for help. You said, I cannot look after my child right now. I am needing medical attention. I have a medical condition. I'm not able to be able to give my child right now what they need. And I need to be a responsible person to look after a baby, and I mentally do not feel like I am able to do that. And so your child was placed with family members that could do that.
Yeah.
What is there to feel guilty about? You did the right thing. You asked for help. You asked for help. You asked for help. You did the right thing. You asked for help. You fought. You fought. You went through court. You fought to get your boy back into your care. You saw Cameron when your mother was taking care of him. You had your child over weekends. You weaned your son back into your life to a place where you felt, I feel mentally better. I can take care of my son. I want to take care of my son. I love my son. And your son is now with you. Don't shortchange him now. He's with you. Don't feel guilty for a medical condition that affects millions of women in Great Britain today. That help was given. You fought for your boy back. You have him, a beautiful daughter as well. So now be the parent you need to be for Cameron, because that's what he needs. That's what he needs. Yeah. That's what he needs. You did not abandon him. You did the right thing to ask for help. And help was what you was given.
Yeah.
And you have your family here supporting you.
She's got nothing to feel guilty for. She got help when she needed it.
You got help. And that's what's important. You can make a huge impact on your children's lives and make a fresh start, you know, in being able to implement what's needed, because nothing else is short.
I think she feels guilty as well because of Lowenna, because she's had a second child and she's had her from the start, and she feels guilty that Cameron didn't have that. So every day that she has Lowenna, she gets more guilt for Cameron.
But she wasn't feeling that way. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you had a medical condition. You had postnatal depression with your first.
Yeah.
You know? And now you have your little one. And you've been feeling fine, and that confidence allows you now to grow with Cameron and give him what he needs as well.
Yeah.
It's there. It's all in your hands. It's there. But only you can stop punishing yourself. Only you can say, well, yes, I mean, just logically think of what I'm saying to you.
Just don't know how to...
Look at the tape. Your little one.
Good jobs.
The way you feel about not being there for Cameron, the love that you have for your children has to surpass anything that you have felt, so that you can be able to give your kids what they need. But you've got to nip that behaviour in the bud. You've got to be the adult, and you've got to be able to take some heed and listen to the advice that you're being given, because it's all for the good of you.
Yeah.
Because it will build your confidence. You know, having that knowledge and then implementing and doing it and seeing that result, you know, will make you feel more confident, will make you feel more empowered, you know, because you will recognise that you're actually doing the right thing, and you'll see the result from that. And when you start to do that, you'll feel better and better, you'll build your confidence, but it's like you're too scared to even take that first step.
I was just going to say she's closed off with everybody, and she's got walls built up. Even with her children, it's like she's scared to be the mum. She's scared to do things with them because she thinks before she's even tried, she's going to do it wrong.
There is no right and wrong. There's no right and wrong of, you know, dancing around in the kitchen and having fun and singing along. There is no right and wrong. You just get on the floor and you have fun with them and you act silly. Everyone does it behind closed doors. They all have a laugh with the kids. You know, you let your hair down. You know, there is no which is the right way, the wrong way. You just go with the flow. You go with the flow. You know, there isn't. Would you, at this stage, I mean, I know you know what you need to do, but I hope that logically talking to you about where you were at and knowing that you're not in that place now because you've had your little girl, you know, and you wasn't feeling that way, which is marvellous. You know, it's fantastic. Would you commit today, in order to make things better, to actually goof around with your sister and actually feel encouraged? Not here. Oh. Your eyes went like this. You're not going to make me dance. Surely you're not going to make me dance right now. Well, I mean, goof around, you know, with your sister, with the kids. You know, have some fun and games with them. Look, just look at your little ones here. You know, they want to learn, they want to play. It's about interaction. There is no, when you're playing with kids, there is no wrong. There is no wrong. You just go with it. There is no wrong. It's all about being soppy and silly.
Like Cameron likes art, is really good at art. You could just get a big plastic sheet and a load of paints and just splash about with them.
Are you open for suggestions with respects to, you know, drawings and painting and Play-Doh and getting messy and sticky and having fun and having a laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that something we can commit to doing tomorrow? Can you write down a creative routine for the kids? Could we come together and just really, you know, help with creating a routine that has play? So I almost want to create like an advert calendar that will have different creative ideas so that you can really look forward to doing those things with Cameron, but at the same time, putting that fun, that pleasure, that experience, which continues to allow you to bond with the kids and have fun. Also then make sure that when he starts to push back, that you can follow through and implement, because you've got to have the fun, the games, love him, look at him, look. You've got to have the games, the fun, the experience, the enjoyment, for him to feel like, actually, this is much better. Doing this is far better than actually being the way I have been to get my mum's attention. He's got to see that. You've got to present that to him. You've got to give him the opportunity first so that he can see all of that, because he'll weigh that up himself. He's a smart boy. He can work it out himself. He knows. But you've got to give him the opportunity. You've got to give him that incentive. Could we make a commitment to actually go home and make some kind of an advert calendar of games and play and fun? Is that something you'd be willing to receive help with your mum and your sister in being able to do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what about jigging around? Can we get you being silly, letting your hair down? Yeah?
We'll see, yeah.
I'll stick you can't dance.
We did dancing today, haven't we?
Come round to my house, I'll show you.
OK. Thank you very much, ladies.
OK.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Nurture. Make sure you subscribe for more modern parenting.